All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast, and for the final part of the show, we're now going to get into talking about the game tonight that will end off Week 5 between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's get into that matchup. So the Saints, they got off to a good start. Very good start. They were blowing the Cowboys out and the Panthers in Week 1. And we were like, man, are the Saints legit? Now, they could still be legit. This NFC South that they play in is by no means out of reach for them after, dropping these last 2 games. They got a big game with the Bucs coming up after this week. So they're looking to get back in the win column. And then as for the Chiefs, they're 4-0, but it's not like you look at them and you say, how is this team 4-0 if you watched all the games? They could very easily have a couple losses in there. All their games are one-score games. They lose to the Chargers. Or no, they lose to the Chargers. They beat the Chargers 17-10. They beat the Falcons the week before that. That was a 5-point game. They beat the Bengals. That was a 1-point game. And then the Ravens, they almost scored a touchdown, and then we're going to go for 2 to potentially win the game. So, the Chiefs, at the very least, should have at least one loss. But they don't. They are undefeated, but they do have issues. Patrick Mahomes is turning the ball over. They have injuries both at the running back position and the receiver position. So, again, last year, what did we say? Oh, this is not going to be the year. The offense is struggling. Receivers are dropping passes. It's just, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. What happened? The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to sit here, and they're 4-0 right now. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, yeah, no, it's definitely not going to be the year. Now, it's possible that a team knocks them off. Got to see who it is. But, again, this is what happened last year. So I'm not falling for it twice, all right? Even though, again, they could lose. They could lose down the line, and then they don't three-peat. But, anyways, so going into this game, it's at home. I think the Chiefs should win this game. Derek Carr does know this team well from all his years playing in the AFC West. But it's a hostile environment, and I think the Saints, they're a veteran team. They're up for the challenge, but I think the Chiefs should win. Looking at the league rankings for these teams, I can pull this game up here. So the weather's supposed to be nice, which is good. And it was originally a 7.5 point spread. It went down to 5.5. I actually did take the Saints with the 5.5, but I do think the Chiefs should still win. But what's going to happen, right? The Chiefs are going to cover. So, the Chiefs 18th in passing yards per game at 226. The Saints are 23rd with 206. The Saints are 7th in rushing yards per game, 147.5. And the Chiefs are 17th, 112.5. The Saints offense is still first in points per game, and the Chiefs are 15th. Saints are scoring an average of 31.8. Now, I don't think they are going to get to 31, but I do think the Saints are going to put up points in this game. Then on defense, both teams are in the 20s when it comes to the pass. The Saints defense is 25th against the pass, giving up an average of 252.3 passing yards per game, and the Chiefs defense is 22nd, giving up an average of 235. And then both teams neck and neck in against the run. Chiefs are giving up an average of 99 rushing yards per game. Saints are giving up an average of 96.5 rushing yards per game, and they're both defenses. Saints defense is 7th in points allowed. Chiefs defense is 8th. So these are two solid units going at it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, Mahomes has thrown some bad interceptions, and Derek Carr, he's a guy that turns the ball over as well. So I could definitely see that happening tonight. Um, who's going to be the guy that steps up coming out of the backfield for the Chiefs? I mean, it looks like Kareem Hunt's going to be the lead back. At over 60 yards rushing and a touchdown. So I guess they're going to lean on him at times. You got Samaje Perine, that could be that change of pace back. Carson Steele, we'll see what kind of workload he gets tonight after the fumble last week. For the Saints, get the ball to your playmakers. Get Alvin Kamara involved. He's going to be a factor. There's no Taysom Hill in this game, which, that takes away a dimension of this offense. But yeah, hit guys like Olave and Rashid Shaheed. They're probably going to try to go deep to him a lot. So, the Chiefs are going to try to take that away, I'm assuming. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. The Saints, they are not the team that started off 2-0, and I don't think they're the team that's lost these last two games, to the Eagles and to the Falcons. They're somewhere in between that. I do think this team could finish around 8 or 9 wins. That's what I think I had them at, when I did the schedule predictions. So, but this game here, I still see the Chiefs winning. Just because they did, for some reason, they just find ways to win games, even if they're ugly, wins. And I expect that to be the case here tonight. Now, when you look at the pass catchers, Rashee Rice, he's going to be getting surgery on his knee, or a procedure done on his knee. So we'll see, what the timetable is if he actually does end up coming back at some point, because they didn't rule him out for the season. We all assumed it was an ACL and he was done for the year, but maybe he's not. Maybe at least for the regular season he's done. Maybe he can come back in the postseason. But who's going to step up? Kelsey had a better game, and I expect him to have a big game tonight. You got Xavier Worthy, Juju Smith-Schuster's back, so you got to lean on him at times, because he was good for them in 2022, and he knows this offense. So, and he had a touchdown a couple weeks ago. So rely on him, Justin Watson, Sky Moore. These guys are going to have to step up, So, we'll see how it goes. But I got the Chiefs winning. I'm going to say it's, 28-24 is the final score. High scoring. I think the Saints hang around, at least cover the number. But that's just because I picked them. But knowing my luck, the Chiefs will probably win by a touchdown. Because that's just how the spread pool has gone this year. I changed 3 games yesterday. So I originally had the Ravens, the Bears, and what was the other team? There was another game I switched. I'm trying to remember. How do I not remember? I had the Ravens. I had the Bears. I switched those. And I also switched... Oh, that's what it was. The Commanders and the Browns. And I changed to the Browns. And you're probably sitting there going, why? Well, I had all the favorites, and I was like, I got to do something. But I changed the wrong games because all of them ended up being wrong. Now, the Bengals, they should have won, but they didn't. They blew it. But, so right now I'm at 5. I could have had 6, with the Steelers, but of course they blow it at the end. I've had a lot of since doing the spread pool, I've had so many bad beats. And it's just, I'm waiting on winning that week. And I don't think it's going to happen this year. But we'll see. We'll see. But the other thing, too, is, this year especially, it's year to year, or week to week. Like, you really have no idea. It's like so many upsets every week. It's so hard to figure it out. But that's where we're at. So, and I got the Saints with the points, but I say the Chiefs still end up winning this game. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be a competitive game, but the Chiefs, I think, ultimately get this one here. So let me know what you guys think, though, about that. Who do you have winning this game? Let me know in the comments. So that is pretty much it for the show for today. I thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. Give the other shows some love, like I always say. Make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and a comment. I'll try to get to them and respond. But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. And, yeah, make sure to enjoy the game tonight. And, yeah, so as always, I am your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Like I said, enjoy the game tonight, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.